13 WMAZ Morning starts now.
We continue our unsettled and stormy stretch of weather today, and as we head through the rest of the work and school week, I'll have the details for you coming up.
He shot and killed horrifically, incomprehensibly.
A deadly mass shooting at an elementary school in Texas leaves a community searching for answers. How leaders across the country and here at home are responding.
Governor Brian Kemp wins the Republican nomination. We hear from the governor on his victory.
And local races on the ballot, from commission seats to Board of Education. Find out the winners still ahead.
Good Wednesday morning, Central Georgia. You're taking a live look over a beautiful downtown Macon. The time is now 6:31 a.m. on this May the 25th. It kind of seems like somebody tweaked the iris on our camera because it just looks so dull. But we're going to go ahead and make your morning bright. I'm Wanya Reese.
And I'm Caitlin Heck. And the good news is, at least today, out of all the crazy weather we've had this week, is a little more calm.
We'll take it, Court.
That's right. Yeah, we'll take what we can get because we have had some really rainy and stormy days. Now, the rain has been very beneficial, but when it comes to severe weather, we never like that. And unfortunately, we are going to continue our stormy stretch of weather the next couple of days. Today, though, like Caitlin and Wanya mentioned, one of the calmer days. 69 in the city of Macon. Dew points are high. Boy, is it muggy out there. You're looking live on top of Atrium Health Navison. A few people already making their way about downtown. 68 in Warner Robins. We're at 69 in Fort Valley, 70 in Hawkinsville, 70 in Gray, 72 in Irwinton and in Dublin. Area-wide, upper 60s, low 70s. It's those dew points that you're really going to notice. Dew points, they measure the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. That wind coming out of the east that's pulling in all that Atlantic moisture. So we have some spots with dew points in the 70s. That is tropical. That's really uncomfortable. Didn't that just make you want to step out and seize the day today? As we head through your afternoon, temperatures will climb near 80 by your lunch hour, and then a few storms mainly west of Macon for the day with temperatures in the upper 80s. Could maybe have an isolated severe storm today, and we do have a severe threat for tomorrow and Friday as well. I'll have those details in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Courtney. We're going to get you to your election news, including results from statewide and local races in just a few minutes. But first, we definitely want to start off talking about the tragic situation out of Texas.
Our hearts just break for that community and for those parents. People across the country are mourning the devastating losses of at least 21 people killed in the latest school mass shooting. A spokesman for the Texas Department of Public Safety says the death toll now includes 19 kids and 2 adults. The shooting started shortly after 11:30 yesterday morning at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas.
That's a town roughly 85 miles west of San Antonio.
He shot and killed horrifically, incomprehensibly.
Investigators identified the suspected shooter as 18-year-old Salvador Ramos, a high school senior from Uvalde. They think he worked alone. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says the suspected gunman is also dead. They believe responding officers killed him. Yesterday's
school shooting was the deadliest in Texas history and the worst in the U.S. since a gunman killed 26 people at Sandy Hook Elementary in Connecticut in 2012. Across the country, many are responding to this tragedy, including right here in Georgia. Governor Brian Kemp saying, Marty, the girls and I are heartbroken over news from Uvalde, Texas. For children and innocent adults to be taken from this world in such a depraved, violent way, it is incomprehensible.
This mass shooting in Uvalde comes less than 2 weeks after a gunman shot 10 people dead at a Buffalo, New York supermarket.
That's leading to calls for action on Capitol Hill. President Joe Biden says it's time for America to act, and Vice President Kamala Harris says enough is enough with tragedies like these. Last night, the Senate took initial steps to place several pieces of gun control legislation on its calendar, including a House-passed resolution on background checks.
We will continue to follow the latest on this devastating school shooting and the aftermath of this tragedy on air and online for you. Right now, though, let's turn to your election news this morning. Georgians will see a rematch in November between Governor Brian Kemp and Stacey Abrams.
That's right. Kemp avoided a runoff in the GOP primary with over 70% of the vote.
The governor celebrated the win at the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta last night. Ashlyn Webb was there when he announced his victory.
You could feel the energy and excitement here, a crowd screaming 4 more years as Governor Brian Kemp celebrated a victory, a landslide win, making him the Republican nominee for governor.
Thank you.
Excitement all over again. We were here 4 years ago. The excitement is still here.
Governor Brian Kemp praised his supporters for the resounding victory Tuesday, and also his family, who have tirelessly campaigned for him through his first campaign in 2018 and now for his re-election.
The doors the dials, the small dollar donations, the yard signs, and going to events. You name it, and Team Kemp has done it. So thank you all.
Kemp says he's running on his record the last 4 years.
And we stood up for life at the heartbeat. We cracked down on gangs and human trafficking. We expanded access to rural broadband. We lowered the cost of health insurance. And we back and will continue to back our men and women in law enforcement.
Keeping Georgia the #1 place to live, work, and raise families, he says.
4 more years of the Kemp administration will mean that you keep more of your hard-earned money. Your communities will be safe. Your kids will be in school without fear of partisan agendas in the classroom. Parents will have a voice, and we'll keep working to bring good-paying jobs to every corner of our state.
Kemp also made clear he's ready for a rematch with Democrat Stacey Abrams.
Georgia will never be on Stacey's mind because her priorities are not our priorities. We're going to make sure Stacey's road to Pennsylvania Avenue stops right here in the Peach State.
And Kemp supporters say they hope to be celebrating another victory come November.
I think he'll come out on top just like he did last time.
There'll be a challenge against Stacey Abrams, but I stand behind him and I support him 100%.
Republicans just got to come out and vote for Brian Kemp in November and show up this time.
We need to come together.
Yeah.
Reporting in downtown Atlanta, Ashlyn Webb, 13 WMAZ News.
Thank you, Ashlyn, for that report. Former U.S. Senator David Perdue got over 20% of the vote.
He conceded to Governor Kemp last night and encouraged voters to get behind the incumbent. Now, Governor Kemp's victory sets up a rematch against Democrat Stacey Abrams.
She ran unopposed in the Democratic primary for governor. In 2018, Abrams lost the governor's race to Kemp by about 55,000 votes. That's just over 1%. She's since become a leading national Democratic voice as a voting rights activist.
Yesterday in Atlanta, she said she is running because she believes in one Georgia.
Whether it's bringing together neighborhoods or bringing together counties or bringing together an entire state. Our responsibility is to see the needs of every Georgian, to make certain those who are doing well continue to do well, but those who are trying have real opportunity, that those who are falling behind, that we catch them and lift them up.
The Kemp-Abrams rematch is likely to be one of the nation's most expensive and closely watched races of the year.
The election for Georgia governor happens November the 8th. We're also following local election results this morning, including 2 races in Bibb County, both dealing with the Macon Water Authority. First up, the chairman's seat. Former Bibb County Commissioner Gary Bechtel leads former District 2 Water Authority Board member Desmond Brown in the race with around 47% of the vote. If that holds, it would head to a runoff. The race for the District 1 Water Authority Board seat is decided. The incumbent Anissa Jones won against challenger Eleanor Welch.
Houston County now knows who will fill 2 commission spots. For Post 2, Shane Gottwals won the election with 57% of the vote. Tal Talton grabbed the victory for the Post 4 seat with around 64%. Here's what both winners had to say last night.
And most of the reason I ran truly was because I feel like I owe something to this community and I feel like I can bring something to this community, and I want to try to give back as much as possible because Houston County has given me a whole lot, and I really appreciate everybody's support.
I'm just excited about getting in with other commissioners, working with them, and just continue Houston County to move in the right direction, which it's already doing. Just want to be a part of that and just keep moving forward with that.
Board of Education seats were also on the ballot in Houston County. District 2 is decided with the incumbent Lori Johnson winning against challenger Yolanda Franklin. District 6 is still undecided. It looks like it will actually head to a runoff between Mark Ivory and Tim Baggerly. Missed the results you were looking for? You can find up-to-date election results right now on our website. That's at 13WMAZ.com. We have everything from statewide races to ones right here in our backyard. Just go to the top of our homepage. You'll see a banner titled May 2022 Georgia Primary Election Results. Click that and you'll be able to track the latest races in the Peach State. All right, well, one great grad made moves from overseas to Central Georgia. How he is graduating at 16. We're going to discuss his big plans after college. Our TJ, he is standing by. He's going to bring us that story. The time's now 6:40 a.m. Man, we got a lot of news that's happening this morning, and our producers have been doing a phenomenal job of producing it and making sure that our viewers at home are informed.
Absolutely. We got a lot to cover. And of course, the weather not playing very nice with us either this week.
Courtney, we're keeping you busy too, sis.
That's right. I know it, as if we needed to add the weather on top of it, right? But yeah, unfortunately, we are going to continue our stormy stretch of weather the next few days. But thankfully, the good news is there is light at the end of the tunnel, quite literally. We are going to have a really nice Memorial Day weekend. So we're going to cover that all in just a few minutes here. Yesterday, I snapped this photo, and I know a lot of you across the area snapped photos of shelf clouds. It is officially shelfie season, everybody. That's as we call them in the weather department here. So here it is. This was over near the High Falls area. I think this is just so cool. Dylan and I were driving down 75 and I was like, oh my gosh, look at that shelf cloud. It's so cool. And he was like, what is that? And I was like, storms are on the way. Next thing you know, it was downpouring and we could not see a foot in front of us. So if you were driving out and about yesterday afternoon, maybe heading to vote, I know a lot of you probably ran into those thunderstorms. Today, thankfully drier, but we do still have the chance for maybe an isolated severe storm. We'll mainly be looking west of Macon for that. Damaging winds, small hail, and those heavier downpours. We'll look between around 3 and 7 p.m. And honestly, we could end up having a really dry day. I'll explain why in just a second. Now tomorrow, definitely going to be rainy and stormy. All of the area under a level 1 of 5 threat. Now tomorrow's the day we will watch for maybe a brief isolated tornado. That threat is the lowest end for us, but otherwise damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour in severe storms, 40 to 50 in strong storms, and maybe some 1-inch diameter hail tomorrow between 2 and 10. So as we start to heat up and then once the sun sets and we lose that energy, we'll bring our severe threat to an end. And then Friday, a cold front finally moves through the area and we could have a few storms fire up along that in the afternoon, bringing our southeastern counties the threat for maybe an isolated severe storm on Friday afternoon. So here's the weather system as a whole. Stalled front to our north, and in the meantime, we're pumping in a lot of tropical moisture underneath that, so it is very muggy out there. What we're going to be watching today and tomorrow is this little short wave. It's a wave of energy, adds a little extra lift to the atmosphere. You can see storms, even some severe storms along the Florida Panhandle, firing up ahead and along it. That will move closer to the area today, and then our cold front moves in on Friday, which has been bringing quite the mess to parts of Texas already this morning. Now, the disclaimer with the shortwave, they're very small scale features, so models have a really hard time picking up exactly where they are going to set up through the day. So again, we'll keep our eye on places like Lamar, Upson, and probably Taylor and Macon County today, but most of the range should set up out to our west today. But just be mindful if you live in our far western counties, you might experience a stronger storm today. Now, tomorrow morning around 11 a.m., rain rolls in, so for your morning drive, it should be mainly quiet. Before that ride home from work and school tomorrow, storms will be likely, including that chance for maybe an isolated severe storm as well, and we'll bring that threat to an end around 10 o'clock. So you'll definitely want to be weather aware tomorrow, especially just with the timing of this system. Here finally comes our cold front on Friday, and again ahead of it and along it we'll have that chance for a few thunderstorms, mainly south and east of Macon. That could bring us that isolated severe threat as well. Could pick up another 1 to 2 inches of rain, so some localized flooding that will be possible. Good news is, take a look at that. We're dry through Memorial Day weekend. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have that chance for severe storms. We'll stay unsettled through Friday, and then it looks like Memorial Day weekend is wonderful. We're back in the 90s Monday.
All right, thank you, Courtney. Time is 6:44. As we go to break, here's more election results from all around central Georgia. This is how counties voted on a transportation special purpose local option sales tax, or a T-SPLOST. We're back with more news and weather after this.